Hello, this is Peter Collins with another sales tip for the professional salesperson. In this module, I want to take your attention to a sales subject that is far more important overall to the amount of recognition that it really gets. Why? Because I personally consider it to be one of the most important areas in sales. And that subject is address their wants and needs early in the call. At times like this, it's best to begin with asking a few key questions about them, then ask what objectives they'd like to achieve and simply reply with, "To further investigate this one issue, I'd like to clarify your thoughts." Now go over some of the key points I had raised earlier and immediately write them down. Why? Because whenever you do this, it not only demonstrates you have a reasonable understanding of your prospect's issues and their concerns, but that you have made a note of those issues. And that one simple action will show them how important what they've told you really is. The next thing to do is to read out aloud and discuss their objectives in bullet point form. That way it becomes not only a better form of communication between the two of you, but also creates a summary list that can be used at a later time, and that is especially valuable when closing the sale. Never, never forget that. Now, this video you've just seen on wants and needs selling would have to be the most diplomatic video I've cut on the subject for more than 10 years. And I now want to lift the veil. I don't want to be diplomatic anymore. And the reason why is over the years since I started promoting wants selling above need selling, I've been attacked by a lot of people that call themselves sales trainers. Well, in my opinion, most of these people never could make it as a salesperson, so the company they were with promoted them into sales training, hoping that they would be able to teach some newbies on some of the factors that they need to go out there and sell. Well, guess what? Those people never took a sales lesson. Those people never took a lesson on how to train other people. And yet they've survived in some industries for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. And I don't believe that's a good thing. Now, let me say this. It was more than 40 years ago that I threw out the concept of need selling and gravitated towards training on want selling. And the reason for it is anybody that tries to sell on the basis of needs won't make any money. But worse still, they'll actually turn off their prospect or the customer. And the reason why I say that, nobody likes to be told. And when you start promoting needs, it's your opinion. And what you're doing is you're forcing your opinion onto somebody else. That is not what a salesperson should do. Now, let me say this also. There has never been anybody that will buy anything based on a need unless it's something a doctor tells them to do. And in most cases, they'll still buy what they want. You see, every purchase is made to satisfy a want. Nobody ever purchases anything to satisfy a need. And then you get this other garbage told by incompetent sales trainers that whenever needs or wants and needs align, the selling will become easy. Huh? This is rarer than hen's teeth. So how can selling become easy on the basis of the two aligning? I've never seen a blue moon in my entire life, and this is like looking for a blue moon. It's never existed and it never will. So as I take you through the rest of this training sector, I want to bring up 7 different areas that you need to consider that will help you sell a lot more. And every one of those actually shows you the folly of trying to sell on the basis of needs and the wisdom of selling on the basis of wants. Now, the first thing I want to bring to your attention is that most salespeople were introduced to needs selling by either their sales trainers or sales managers who really passed on what they were taught in the first place. Never challenged it, just passed it on. But needs selling is absolutely flawed, and it can get a prospect angry, it can get a prospect offside, and it can actually get a prospect to close down listening during a presentation. And all the prospect wants is that you give the prospect what they want. Now, the second point is you need to understand the difference between needs and wants selling, because that difference is a major key to the success of any salesperson. Now, the other factor also is wants selling is diametrically opposite to needs selling. But who is the one who decides to start to actually provide the customer or the prospect with what they need? Well, generally the salesperson. And helping them understand what they need is what you're trying to do, but you're actually achieving the exact opposite. Now, whatever seems important regarding need selling, stop it. Stop it this minute and concentrate on wants selling. Because your job as a salesperson to give them what they want. That's right, you have to give them what they want. And when you give them what they want, you'll end up making money and you'll get a satisfied customer. That's right, everything you sell on the basis of what they want, and you'll keep your customer longer. The third point is wants are more powerful. In fact, what they want is a much more powerful motivator than anything they may need. And ask the prospect to tell you exactly what they want, what they have a burning desire to actually achieve, and what will happen once they get what they want. Once you have that, you can show them how to get it. And while you're doing that, you'll build more value, you'll build joy, you'll build satisfaction to them by purchasing what they want. Now, successful salespeople understand this one point and they use it to create a win-win advantage on every call they make. Now, the fourth point is the salesperson themselves, because salespeople are genetically geared up to sell problems. That's what a lot of the sales training actually focuses on these days. But once you start trying to solve problems and you start focusing on problems, you can go overboard, because it's your idea against what the prospect wants. And the minute you go down that track, you bring an assumption. An assumption in any type of presentation is a turn-off to the buyer. So simply give them what they want. And once you do that, you can create a long-term relationship with your customer, because they will always feel in control and they'll keep coming back to buy more, and they'll keep coming back to give you more referrals in the process. The fifth point is there's a big difference between buying and being sold. Now, most prospects don't want to be sold. They just want to simply go out there and buy, because to them, there's a significant difference between the two. So if you give them what they want and let them go out and get it, they'll feel like they've bought something special, and all you have to do is to reinforce exactly what they've bought. Now, if they feel like they're being sold, they in turn will feel like they've lost their buying power. So make sure that you make them feel good and give them exactly what they want. Now, the sixth point is don't ever force your ideas onto any one of your prospects. Need selling forces a salesperson's idea onto their prospect. And if you do that, you will regret it. So stop being caring. I know you've been told that need selling is a way of caring for your prospect. That's absolute garbage. Your job is to sell. And the minute you start to force needs on to your prospect, they'll feel pressured. So don't pressure them. Simply give them what they want and do it so that they'll be happy and it becomes a win-win situation. That's right. Simply sell them what they want and they'll never feel bad about the decision they make, no matter what the price. And the seventh point is, it's your livelihood. And your livelihood depends on how well you sell. So the more you satisfy what your customers want, and remember, the average customer seeks out what they want. They go looking for what they want. And when they find what they want, they're happy to spend more money on what they want. Now, most people, once they realize they want to buy something, will then gravitate to the least expensive they can possibly get. But when they find exactly what they want, they're happy to spend more, they want better quality, they want better value, and to them price will no longer be a barrier as long as they can afford what they want to spend. In closing, I want you to get hold of this one fact because I've now given you 7 points that show you that need selling is dead, it doesn't work. People only buy on wants. Learn these, go over them over and over until you get a full grip of what's happening, because the minute you understand this one concept, I can guarantee you that you'll close a lot more sales, but I can also guarantee you each one of the sales that you close will be more profitable than the way you've been selling for years and years.